These are exciting times for photography. Imaging technology is advancing with sometimes breathtaking speed, bringing new opportunities and new challenges for professional photographers. I'm Andrew Foster, Executive Director of the Professional Photographers of America, and I'm here to talk with you about one of those new challenges for our profession. New technologies like digital scanning and thermal printing are making it increasingly easy for consumers to reproduce photographic images directly from prints. These technologies do not require consumers to use or even own the original negative. That's great for consumers who can't find their negative for that favorite snapshot, or who want to turn a snapshot into a special gift, complete with a custom border or a personalized message. But what if the print being copied is a professional photo? Photos are protected by copyright law, and unless sold or transferred, the right to reproduce them is owned by the photographer, not the consumer. Very simply, it is illegal to copy them without permission of the photographer. PPA views copyright protection as vitally important to our profession. We have done and will continue to do everything we can to keep copyright protection strong and to help photographers enforce copyright protection of their valuable images against both traditional copying and copying using new technologies. Photographers do not have to take any special steps to secure copyright protection of their images. By law, when you make an exposure, you automatically own the rights to that image. It is illegal for anyone to copy your photos without permission. Of course, it's also illegal to steal a camera, but we don't just rely on the law to protect us. We take our own steps to prevent theft. In the same way, you may want to consider taking steps to protect your business from unlawful copying of the images you produce. The PPA and Kodak have produced this video to provide some practical solutions about how you can reduce your vulnerability to illegal copying. Obviously, photographers run their businesses in many different ways, and some of these approaches may not be appropriate in your particular business situation. But if you can adapt any of these suggestions to the needs of your business, you'll be less likely to be the victim of copying. And any copying that occurs should have a smaller effect on your bottom line.
A number of manufacturers today are creating color imaging systems capable of producing near photographic quality images. Kodak, as a leader in imaging, strongly supports the rights of copyright owners. The equipment and materials used in the Kodak copy print station and other Kodak image reproduction systems feature prominent copyright statements like these. On the back of many of its professional papers, Kodak prints a copyright statement for the benefit of professional photographers. Kodak also strongly emphasizes the importance of copyright issues in promotional and training materials, as in this scene from a training video for retailers who operate the Kodak copy print station. The video not only warns against copyright infringement, it also lists a number of steps retailers and their employees can take to avoid inadvertently copying a professional's photo. Manufacturers, particularly Kodak, have pledged to educate retailers and their customers about the importance of copyright issues. But professional photographers can also play a key role in protecting their ownership rights to the photographs they create. The first step is understanding what your rights are under copyright law. Here is attorney Bruce Joseph of Wiley, Ryan & Fielding, PPA's Copyright Counsel, and a nationally recognized expert on copyright law.
Basic copyright law is really very simple. First, all photographs, not just those made by professionals, are automatically protected by copyright. When you expose the film, it's copyrighted. That's it. You don't have to fill out any forms or even mark your prints or negatives to obtain copyright protection for your work. Second, because all photos are copyrighted, it's illegal to copy any photograph without the copyright owner's permission. Again, you don't have to do anything to secure this protection. It's yours by right of law. but there are steps you can take to enhance your protection. You can use a copyright notice to tell the world just how seriously you take your copyright. And if your business practices make it possible, you can register your copyright with the U.S. Copyright Office to gain access to certain important remedies, including the possibility of recovering attorney's fees in an infringement suit. As a lawyer, I can tell you how important that is. PPA is working with the Copyright Office in Washington, D.C. to make copyright registration practical for all photographers. Finally, when buying photographs from a professional, most customers purchase only the prints themselves, not the right to make copies. Memories from a wedding are the customer's, but the photographer owns the copyright in the images of that wedding he or she creates. Unfortunately, customers may not understand this, nor are they always aware that if they make copies of the prints without the photographer's permission, it is copyright infringement. So it's to the benefit of everyone in the industry for photographers to help educate their customers about the importance of respecting copyright ownership. To help you do that, my firm has worked with PPA to put together this copyright legal kit. The kit answers the most commonly asked questions about copyrights in clear layman's terms. It also includes useful items like sample customer notices explaining copyright protection in language that your customers will find easy to understand. In a few minutes, you'll learn how you can get a copy of the kit. But first, here are some suggestions it discusses.
As Bruce said, the PPA Copyright Kit contains a number of useful suggestions you may want to consider incorporating into your business practices. The most basic is to mark your photographs with a copyright notice, even though you're not legally required to do so. A simple copyright notice on the front or back of each of your prints is a clear indication that the photo is the creation of a professional. It makes it easier for anyone who might be asked to copy your photos to recognize that they are copyrighted, and it tells them that they need your permission to make the copy. Many photo processors and retailers will not copy a photograph bearing a copyright notice without your permission. A copyright notice also helps educate your customers. All you need for a complete copyright notice is the copyright symbol, the letter C in a circle, your name or studio, and the date. A simple stamp with your name will serve much the same purpose. Including information such as your address or telephone number will make it easier for people to find you in the future when they want copies. Attractive flyers informing the customer about your copyright ownership are also available from PPA. These can be placed in the packaging of previews and finished photos. They provide an authoritative third-party source that you can use to explain to customers that while they own the prints, your photos cannot be reproduced without your permission. That makes it less likely that your customers will see copyright protection as an arbitrary imposition on your part. A simple, informative sign in your sales room also explains to your customers that professional photos are copyrighted. A sample is included in the PPA Copyright Legal Kit. Even with such aids, some customers will continue to seek unauthorized copies. In addition, many professionals remain reluctant to raise the issue of copyright ownership. They're concerned that customers will respond negatively, as in fact some do. Of course, those are the very customers you most need to educate. Is there some way to make these issues work positively for you in your business? For some suggestions, here is 1995 PPA President Marvel Nelson, a professional photographer from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
What can you do as a professional to protect your copyright? That depends on your business. I can't tell you what will work for you, but I can share some of the things that I do. First, I make illegal copying more difficult. For example, I retain possession of my preview images shown to my clients by showing them in display portfolios or as slides. This not only prevents the preview images from being used to make unlawful copies, it offers me a wonderful opportunity to sell more prints and enhance my relationship with my clients. When I use paper previews, I copyright stamp them with removable inks across the front of the image so they can't be copied. Placing the stamp just under the chin prevents cropping it out. I also have found that other business practices can reduce my vulnerability to copying. By telling you about these, I'm not implying that you should have to compete with infringers. You shouldn't. But you might be able to lower the threat to your livelihood created by unlawful copying. For example, I don't use free sitting and a print promotions. Instead, in any promotional sitting that I do, I offer a package of sizes at a price that covers my sales and my profit requirements. That way, my initial package is a moneymaker, not a money loser, and I offer extra prints at an attractive price. If you do school photographs, you can make sure your customers don't receive any prints without ordering a minimum basic package that helps cover your financial requirements. The same goes for Little League, ballet class, church, and similar promotions. Wedding photographers may face the biggest challenge because so much of their income depends upon the sale of extra prints. But the same principles can apply. Consider pricing your minimum package to cover your hourly rate based on time spent at the wedding and producing the finished prints. Pre-selling additional albums for parents, grandparents, and pre-selling prints for attendance as part of the initial package also helps satisfy customer needs for additional gift prints. In addition to being business smart about pricing and policies, educating the customer is equally important and not as difficult as it may seem. Many copyright infringements are caused by people who do not realize they are breaking the law. We can reduce the problem if we're all upfront about copyright issues with our customers. Above all, inform, inform, inform. People don't get upset if we're open and honest with them. Developing a warm and trusting relationship with our clients is perhaps the most important deterrent to copyright infringement. Such relationships create a protective loyalty that surpasses all of the laws on the books.
As Marvel's experience shows, an effective copyright message can help reinforce the larger message you want to get across to your customers. As a professional, you offer something special, something they can't get anywhere else. Yes, they can probably get illegal copies of your photographs made elsewhere, but do they really want to break the law? And do they really want less than the best when it comes to once-in-a-lifetime memories like these? Today's new technologies can't replace the superior creativity and quality professional photographers provide their customers. But these technologies challenge professionals to develop sales and marketing techniques that effectively convey that value message to their customers. The PPA is working to help you do just that. For more information, here again is Andrew Foster.
The Professional Photographers of America has always recognized the importance of protecting photographers' ownership of the images they worked so hard to create. Today, new technologies are making that protection more important than ever. That's why we're working with manufacturers and others in the industry to develop solutions like machine-readable copyright markings, which would automatically prevent illegal scanning of protected images. But technology will never be the whole answer. That's why we're also working with retailers to make sure the new equipment is used responsibly. And as professionals, we can help strengthen our copyright protection by educating ourselves and the public about our ownership of the images we create. To help you do that, the PPA has developed this copyright legal kit. It provides practical information you can put to use immediately in your business. To get a copy, just write to the following address. We can't stop the progress of technology, nor should we want to. But if we all do our part, manufacturers, retailers, PPA, and photographers, we can help ensure that new technologies are used responsibly. Copyright should become a routine part of our photographic business transactions, and when it does, you help protect your own work and that of your fellow professionals.